The invasion had lasted exactly 47 minutes. Massey stood among the wreckage of what used to be downtown Chicago, his hands trembling as he raised them above his head. Around him, thousands did the same, a forest of surrendering limbs reaching toward the massive shadow that blotted out the sun. The alien vessel hung there like a predatory bird, silent and impossibly vast, its hull shimmering with colors that had no names in any human language. "Don't move," Annie whispered beside him, her voice tight with fear. She was his sister, younger by 3 years, and in all their time together, he'd never heard that particular tremor in her words. Just, "Don't move." Massey had no intention of moving. He'd seen what happened to those who ran pillars of violet light that reduced human beings to shadows on the pavement. No, surrender was the only option. Survival was all that mattered now. The ship descended lower, and Massey could feel the displacement of air pressing against his chest like a physical weight. Other vessels dotted the sky, dozens of them each hovering over a major city. This was coordinated. This was the end of human independence. Then something changed. A beam of golden light erupted from the ship's underbelly, but instead of the deadly violet, this one felt warm. It swept across the crowd like a searchlight, passing over thousands of upturned faces. Massey squeezed his eyes shut as it reached him, expecting obliteration. The light stopped. He could feel it on his skin, not burning but analyzing, as if the beam were reading every atom of his existence. Annie gasped beside him, but when he opened his eyes, he realized the light wasn't on her, it was on him alone. "Only him, Massey?" Annie's voice cracked. Before he could respond, the ground disappeared beneath his feet. He was rising, pulled upward by forces he couldn't comprehend, his body wrapped in that golden cocoon of light. Annie's scream echoed below him, growing fainter as he ascended toward the ship's massive opening. The interior was nothing like the cold metal corridors of science fiction movies. It was organic, alive, pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that reminded him of deep-sea creatures. The light deposited him gently on a platform that felt like standing on water, solid, but yielding. Then the voice came. It wasn't sound, not exactly. It resonated inside his skull, bypassing his ears entirely. "Captain deceased. Succession protocol initiated. You have been selected." "Selected for what?" Massey's voice echoed in the cavernous space. "I don't time not. The previous captain of this vessel has expired. By the laws of the collective, when a ship loses its commander, it must choose a replacement from the nearest sentient population. You raised your hand. You volunteered. That was surrender." Massey shouted. "I wasn't volunteering for anything. The gesture is universal. A raised hand signifies willingness. You are now bound to this vessel. You are now its captain." The platform beneath him shifted, carrying him forward through corridors that rearranged themselves to accommodate his path. He passed chambers filled with technology he couldn't begin to understand. Witness displays showing Earth from orbit, a beautiful blue marble, now dotted with occupation forces. Finally, he emerged onto what could only be called the bridge. It was a sphere of transparent material, offering a 360-degree view of the city below. In the center floated a chair, or something like a chair, made of the same living material as everything else. "Sit. Assume command." "No," Massey said firmly. "Send me back. Choose someone else, someone who knows what they're doing. A pilot, a soldier, the choice cannot be unmade. If you do not assume command within one standard rotation, this vessel will self-destruct along with everything within a 10-kilometer radius. Your city, your people, your sister." Massey's blood ran cold. 10 kilometers. That would encompass millions of people. Annie was down there, still standing in that crowd, probably terrified out of her mind. "That's murder," he breathed. "That is protocol. A ship without a captain is a danger to the collective. Do you accept command?" He thought of Annie, of the strangers who'd surrendered alongside him, of the children who'd been playing in the park that morning before the sky filled with ships. He thought of humanity, brought to its knees in less than an hour. Then he thought of something else. If he was captain, he had control. Slowly, Massey walked to the chair and sat. The moment he made contact, the ship surged to life around him. Information flooded his consciousness, not overwhelming, but present, accessible. He could feel the vessel's systems, its weapons, its drives. He could sense the other ships in the fleet, sense their captains, sense the vast network of the collective stretching across the stars. And he could sense something else, fear. These ships, these captains, they weren't conquerors. They were refugees, running from something far worse, seeking any habitable world, making impossible choices to ensure their survival. "Welcome, Captain Massey," the ship said. And this time, there was something almost like relief in that alien voice. "What are your orders?" Massey took a deep breath and looked down at the city, his city. And he was somewhere in that crowd, probably thinking he was dead or worse. But he was alive, and he had power now. Not the power he'd wanted, not the life he'd planned, but power nonetheless. "First," he said quietly, "we're getting my sister." The ship responded instantly, a familiar golden beam lancing downward. And Massey began to learn what it meant to be captain of an alien vessel, and perhaps, just perhaps, what it might mean to save two species instead of one.